The concern that I want to raise is to just bring parents' attention to something that I'm increasingly seeing online, in particular on Facebook and on Instagram. And the reason why I'm raising it is because I take tuition very, very personally, probably too personally sometimes. Hi geekers, how are you all doing? It's been such a long time since I've been able to record a video because basically as soon as Christmas emerged, I became very, very unwell, on and off, very strange wave of symptoms. And so, you know, even the videos for the Christmas writing challenge, some of those went up because they were scheduled, and the ones that needed to be edited and signed off by myself just had to be put on pause. And I've literally just started to get back on track with work. It's been, can you imagine, like a whole month's worth of sickness. One day you wake up thinking, yes, I'm fine, and then it just didn't work out that way. But thankfully, all is well. I've missed you all so much. I've been itching to record a video, and here we are. Fantastic. Today, I want to talk about something that I've been seeing online with regards to 11 plus tuition. And, you know, I know that we have a lot of viewers from all around the world. Literally, we've got students in China, in Dubai, in Spain, in Ghana, in Nigeria. We've got students all over. I kid you not. It's amazing. It's a real honor that parents from around the globe would choose Geek School and choose to use us online just so that their children can experience Geek School tutoring. And of course, we have the two centres in Beckenham and one in the Catford, Lewisham area, where our students can come and have face-to-face tuition. And of course, there are all the other products and services that are available online. And so naturally, I know that some parents, especially after lockdown, they really want their children to have that face-to-face experience. And so if they live in the Midlands, as some of our students do, if they want face-to-face tuition, clearly we are not in the Midlands. And so, you know, they want something that they can take their child to, where they can see the tutor face-to-face and so on. And the concern that I want to raise is to just bring parents' attention to something that I'm increasingly seeing online, in particular on Facebook and on Instagram. And the reason why I'm raising it is because I take tuition very, very personally, probably too personally sometimes. And where it comes to the 11 plus preparation, in my view, you know, basically you are dealing with the life of a person, the future of a person. And so it's very important that any information that I think I can provide to parents, that I do. And so the concern that I've had is seeing a lot of ads from so-called 11 plus specialists. And when you dig deeper into who they are and their experience, they clearly do not know what they should do or what they're marketing as knowing about the 11 plus. Now, recently I saw an 11 plus video where somebody was saying that the 11 plus is just like any other sort of age-related preparation. It isn't. If you have a tutor that tells you that, that should ring the loudest alarm bell going. The 11 plus exam is one of the most competitive exams that anyone ever does. And it sounds a bit over the top and magnanimous because it really is over the top. You know, children sit this exam at age 10, and in many schools and county exams, they're expected to know everything that they haven't been taught by the end of year 6 in their school, and then some. And some of the content isn't even on the national curriculum. So it's not in the national curriculum, namely verbal and non-verbal reasoning. So we cannot just say that the 11 plus is just like you know, the age-related work that they would do in school. That couldn't be further from the truth. When a child sits the 11 plus exam for the grammar schools in September of year 6, they have not even done their year 6 years worth of schooling. You know, some of the exams take place before schools even open in September. We've had instances in the past where, I'm not sure if it was Kent or Bexley, well, usually Kent has their exams first. And I think because of the way that the calendar worked out that year, the Kent test is often on a Saturday. And I think the schools open on the 6th of January that year. But the children sat the exam for Kent on the 6th of September. But the Kent test took, schools opened. Let's start that again. I've confused myself. So schools opened, I believe, something like the 6th or the 7th of September that year. And the Kent test was the Saturday before. So all the children who sat the Kent test hadn't even entered year 6. But remember that the 11 plus expects them to know all of Key Stage 2. Key Stage 2 includes year 6. Year 6 work is a very crucial part of the knowledge required for the 11 plus exams. And then there are some extra areas in maths and English that they need to know. Now, there are so many tutors advertising, and it's great if they actually know about the 11 plus. But what I'm seeing is that some of them, first of all, they haven't even schooled in the UK, and they haven't taken the time to do the research needed in order to deliver the 11 plus efficiently. Secondly, they haven't got the experience of helping children actually pass the 11 plus exams. So how do you promote yourself as an 11 plus tutor? They haven't gone to a grammar school or an independent school. They haven't done the 11 plus because of point 1, or they just haven't done it because of whatever reason. You know, maybe they live too far for a grammar school, their parents were unaware of it, or what have you. But they're still pitching themselves as experts in the 11 plus exams. And then finally, you know, some of them look like they have children, or they may talk about their children, but their children don't go to grammar schools or independent schools. They've never done the 11 plus exams. Now, for me, if I were looking for a tutor, at least one of those 4 areas should be covered, if not all. You know, if you have children, unless they have specific needs, like, you know, special needs that do not enable them to do the 11 plus, then, you know, why are they not preparing for the 11 plus or entrance exams for independent schools? Is there a reason? And of course, as parents, we choose the schools that we send our children to. However, if you're really passionate about the 11 plus and helping other children to get into those schools, why would you not have done that for your own children? That just doesn't sound quite right. Now, I mentioned the schooling in the UK, not because somebody who's coming into the country is not able to teach a child fractions or percentages and so on. That's really not the point that I'm making. It's about understanding the education system in the country and being able to understand the 11 plus and how it differs from the SATs. Just as a very basic example, you know, schooling in the UK will give some extra information that somebody who hasn't won't be aware of. It's really important. Somebody who's done the 11 plus exam, or exams in the plural, because, you know, generally people tend to either do the grammars or they do the grammars and the independents, and, you know, less frequently you get students who just do independent school exams. And I just think that it's really wrong. And I'm not being judgmental in any way. I'm making this video because, you know, again, for parents who are looking for tutors where, you know, they live really far from us and they're watching our videos to get some help and advice, I really want you not to have your child used as a guinea pig, you know, because unfortunately, I see this all the time. We get students who start with us post trying the 11 plus exams. They hadn't heard of us before, or for whatever reason, you know, they're coming to us maybe in year 7 or sometimes in year 8, and then we find out that they tried maybe the Kent or the Bexley test and, you know, they didn't make it. And a lot of the reason for it is because the tutors that are being used, they don't actually understand the exam. You know, they can teach maybe your general primary school maths, your general primary school English, but the 11 plus exam is specialist. Yes, there are questions that are transferable across the SATs and the 11 plus, but it needs somebody who actually knows what the content looks like in order to really help a child to be successful and to be in with any scope of chance. At Geek School, mentioning children who have special needs, for example, what we do is basically not pigeonholing students. You know, we've helped students who have had Asperger's, autism, dyslexia on different scales, successfully pass the 11 plus exams at grammar school entry and independent school entry. But you need to know what you're doing in order to do that. So parents, please, 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 if you are on the lookout for an 11 plus tutor, find out what school they went to. Did they go to a grammar school or an independent school? You know. Secondly, find out how many students they've managed to get through. And don't just take statistics, you know, literally ask for evidence of the fact, especially if they are a new tutor, you know, starting up. Don't just take their word for it. And then thirdly, if they have children, find out what school their children either go to or went to. You know, if you're a tutor and you've got children of secondary school age, and you say that you're passionate about the 11 plus, you're knowledgeable about the 11 plus, and you couldn't even get your own children who live with you to successfully navigate the 11 plus, that's an alarm bell. You know, sometimes there are instances where children may not do so well on a particular exam. If you understand the process, you'll know that the papers differ. The Kent test is quite different from the Bexley test, which is different from Newstead, different from St Olave's, different from Sutton, the Sutton Grammar School tests. And some children don't enjoy doing the Bexley test. They find the timing impossible and some of the content impenetrable. And then others just fly through Kent, they fly through the Medway test. So you can have a tutor who maybe didn't manage to get their child through Kent, but they got through Bexley. You know, that's more about the child, I would say, maybe the preparation, but it's also about the child as well. So please, parents, do your digging. It's been really tough for me to record this video. I've recorded it about 3 or 4 times because I don't want to sound negative. I don't want to sound as if, you know, I'm upset that other tutors are doing this, because it's been happening even before Geek School started 10 years ago. That is really not the issue. What I have an issue with is that a lot of people are jumping on the 11 plus bandwagon and they don't have the knowledge or the experience to teach children. And so many children who have the ability and so on will miss the boat because their parents don't know the questions to ask, or because their parents are trusting in what they're being told. Myself, as I said, I did the 11 plus. I went to an independent school from the age of 11 to 18. There were no grammar schools in my borough, and it would have been a long commute to get to a grammar school near enough to home. So I did the independent school route. And here's the other thing as well. We have two children, one in sixth form and one in year 8. They've both been successfully, well, let me start from the beginning. They've both been private school educated their entire life. And none of the schools that they went to had a senior secondary, you know. So I know somebody will say, oh, doesn't it mean it's easier? Well, actually, no, because you can imagine in that environment, the competition to get into an independent school would be higher because a lot of the children are sitting exams for the same schools. So, you know, they both go to the top independent schools in the country. My son's actually moved from one really excellent independent school to another even more excellent, in my view, independent school, where his sister resides. So the experience of preparation is there on a personal level, in the sense that I went through the preparation myself. I successfully passed the exams, plural. I successfully navigated through an independent school, and I've also helped my children get through. And I've actually lost count. I should do a tally one of these days of how many students in the 10-year period of Geek School that we've been able to help get into an independent school. And this is the kind of experience that you should be looking for, so that you know that your child is in safe hands. I want to say, please don't go for the cheap and cheerful option all the time because you think that somebody is overpriced. At Geek School, we're really not overpriced at all. Our prices have stayed the same for a decade. So, you know, it's not gone up with inflation or anything like that over the years. Anyway, so please, parents, ask the right questions, do your due diligence, and make sure that your child isn't used as somebody's guinea pig, and that they have all the opportunity to get into an excellent school, which they deserve. Thank you. So please share this video. Help other parents out so that their children are not put somewhere that they shouldn't be for the 11 plus preparation. Thank you. Bye.